Hey everyone, my name is Talon Sai and you are watching Sunday GUNDAY. I hope you're all having a great Sunday so far. We're back today with kind of a mini bang because the gun that we're taking a look at fits inside of this tiny little Pelican case right here, which is crazy. Now I have reviewed an older version of this thing in the past right here. You guys recognize this one? So it's going to be a pretty similar kind of fun, almost novelty style gun to shoot, maybe with some practical application, but this one's got a little trick hidden up its sleeve, so let's take a look at it. This is one of the newest Trailblazer Lifecards in 22, but this time with a threaded barrel. With its compact folding design, the Lifecard 22 is one of the most portable guns available today. It folds up to the size of a credit card, making it incredibly easy to carry in your pocket or a bag. This Lifecard is of course chambered in 22 long rifle, which is obviously super popular and widely available at prices that luckily aren't extremely outrageous right now. The Lifecard holds just one round at a time, making it best suited for maybe self-defense or small game hunting, and we'll talk about that more in a little bit. The gun has a number of safety features, including a folding trigger and a locking mechanism that prevents it from firing when it's in its closed position. Despite its compact size, the Lifecard 22 is a reliable firearm that's easy to operate and maintain because of how sleek and simple the design is. With its relatively affordable price point coming in at $369 for the threaded barrel version or a polymer version for $319, the Lifecard 22 is a great choice for those looking for a compact, reliable firearm that's fun to shoot without breaking the bank. So firearms like this are kind of why I really got into guns in the first place. Yes, you have the practical application, self-defense, all of that, but I really like the engineering behind firearms. And while this doesn't appeal to everyone, it appeals to me because it's just so different. It's a really unique design and there's really not anything else out there on the market like this right now. Now the way this thing works, you can see that there are two little like release levers right here. So down on the handle side, opposed to the barrel, if I pull up on that, the whole thing folds open and you have this tiny little pocket shooter right here. The top lever here will actually flip up the barrel and you're gonna load this one shot at a time. Of course, you have a thread protector on the threaded barrel there, which we'll test out here in a second. You use this little mechanism right here to actually cock the firing pin in there, and then the only other thing to mention is really this little hidden compartment down here, which will hold 1, 2, 3, yeah, just about 3 rounds in there of 22 long rifle. Now this ammo that I'm shooting first is some lead CCI 29 grain. Gonna pop that into the barrel right like that. Close it up, and now we're ready to shoot. Now just like the 22 Win Mag version that I reviewed years ago now, there isn't really any kind of sight picture on here. There is a little bit of a groove in the back of the gun right here, but with this threaded kind of shoulder on the end there, you obviously can't really see through that. So you're kind of point shooting with this gun, which is fine in my opinion for what it is. So let's see how this thing shoots. Hopefully I can hit a target. It's been a while. I feel like this one is a little bit easier to cock than the previous one. One shot, pop the barrel up, casing, next shot. You can't even hear it hitting the target. Last shot. Are we considering this little compartment a magazine for a first mag impression? I guess so. Honestly, the trigger's not bad for what this thing is. I mean, this thing is absolutely tiny. Kick out that spent casing, fold it up. You'll notice right here that after that last shot, the hammer is kind of sitting down a little bit. So if you pull it out to kind of half cock it, it will then allow you to fold it up completely. And it's about the size of a stack of credit cards. Here it is compared to my pretty ultra slim wallet. I just have 1, 2, 3, like maybe 5 cards in here, and it's about the same thickness even as that. So definitely one of the easiest firearms to carry out there, but again, what is this going to be used for? I'm not exactly sure. Let's throw the suppressor on here and see how quiet this thing actually is, and then maybe talk about the philosophy of use a little bit. I don't know. Now let's get a couple more comparison shots. Still using the same CCI ammo. Unsuppressed, 29 grain. I mean, it's already super quiet. It's just a 22. I feel like I don't even really need my ears, but better to be safe. I already have an opinion of why I would buy a gun like this. My practical applications for it, but everyone's entitled to their own opinions. And I'm sure there will be people who disagree with my general uses for something like this. So now, just like magic, whoa, how did that happen? Apparently YouTube's been kind of weird about that stuff. The barrel opens freely now with this Surefire Rider 22 on here. I already know I don't need ears for this. Now we're really point shooting. See if we can hit a smaller target from further away. There's no way. There's a target over here that's probably like 25 yards. That was a big miss. So as you can imagine, insanely quiet. Look at this thing. It doesn't even look like anything recognizable. You could probably opt for a tiny 22 can, like maybe the Q Erector, and just put like a couple little baffles in there. Now I have some 40 grain ammo here, which is probably not going to sound like anything at all. Let's actually shoot into the dirt. That way we have no noise but the gun. These actually feel like they pack a little bit more of a punch than the CCI. I'm gonna go back to the CCI quick. It's weird, I actually think the CCI is quieter. Here's the Aguila. I don't know, it's hard to tell. This heavier grain ammo seems like it's a little bit harder to get out of the, not the cylinder, but like the chamber. Some of them tend to fall out, others you kind of have to pick out with your fingernail. 29. It's traveling so slow, like 700 feet per second. You can see it in the sunlight as it comes out. Now the 40 grain. Yeah, it's like a little bit more of a kick, if you can even call it a kick, with the heavier grain ammo, which is kind of expected, I guess, out of something like this, but pretty neat. Now, without really having sights on here, let's see how this does with a little bit of distance, back here at like 15 yards, maybe. Still hitting in the A zone. Back up even a little further. Now back here from 25 yards, CCI, the lighter grain ammo. The tip of this can on here is just taking up the whole sight picture, so I don't even really know where I'm hitting. Definitely not the target. Let's go up for some heavier grain. Maybe this will be a little better. Just high right. Hey, there we go. I mean, if you're shooting something like this with a can on it, I think this heavier grain ammo is the way to go. It's just so damn quiet. So surprisingly enough, even with a can on here and a tiny little grip, not much to hold on to, really no sights, it's not too bad in the accuracy department. Then again, it is just a 22. But what are you going to use something like this for? Just fun, in my opinion. That is exactly what this thing is kind of made for. They do say self-defense and small game hunting. I could see small game hunting before using something like this for self-defense for a few reasons. One, the caliber choice, of course, 22 long rifle. I do have the 22 Win Mag version if you want to check out that video. I'll try to leave a link up there in the corner. Whenever I talk about a firearm chambered in 22, or any kind of 22 for that matter, the topic of discussion always comes up using something like that for self-defense, and this is just my opinion. A lot of people will agree, disagree. I don't think this would be a good self-defense weapon because I'm reloading this thing as I'm talking right now, and you can tell how long it takes in between shots. Let's actually time this quick. For the best possible scenario, I will have one extra round in the handle, cocked and ready to go. Let's see how long this takes. Let's do that again, but I think I could do it a little faster this time. Round is chambered, clock starts when I pull the trigger. Now if the spent cartridges fell out consistently, it would be a little bit quicker. Let's give it one more go here. Yeah. So self-defense, I mean, that's just too slow in my opinion. If you've done any real training, you obviously know the benefits. It's kind of common sense what type of gun you should carry for self-defense. I'm not saying that 22 cannot be an effective round. If you have a semi-auto 22, that's a hell of a lot better than nothing. It's better than single shot in my opinion. So this is off the table for self-defense in my opinion. If you're going out for a run and you throw something like this in your pocket, yes, it's better than nothing. However, I would rather have something like a sub-compact 9mm with a magazine that feeds more rounds and it doesn't take like 5-10 seconds, however long those reloads took. But it is a really cool gun. I mentioned in the previous video of the 22 Win Mag version that it was a little expensive, and you guys probably already think this is kind of expensive. A lot of people were comparing the last one, which was at the time I believe $400, comparing it to other guns that cost that much, and they're like, why would you buy a gun like that when you could buy a Glock? It's all personal preference. Now with a gun like this one right here, the non-polymer version, the polymer one is a little cheaper, $319, this one is $369. You could compare that to a lot of stuff on the market out there, which is going to excel at a lot of other things, but this has a cool factor to it that a lot of other guns really don't have. You could probably find a 9mm that is fed by magazines, maybe with a threaded barrel on there, and it's gonna do a lot of the same stuff, probably in a little bit better of a fashion, but look how cool this thing is. I have my fair share of guns that are purposely built and were purposely bought for self-defense and everything under the sun. So this one falls into the fun category for me, for someone who maybe doesn't want to spend a ton of money, but you want something that's fun to plink around on the range and do it very quietly. I think this is actually a pretty good platform for maybe teaching your kids how to shoot. It's definitely drastically different than any other like more standard firearm out there. But just something as simple as like keeping the gun pointed in a direction so that when you open the barrel, of course it cannot fire, but you're keeping it in a safe direction. You can basically teach them about mitigating recoil and to not flinch when shooting. You can put this in the hand of a new shooter and probably get them pretty interested in firearms just because it is so cool and unique. It's not something that you see every single day. And now, it's becoming a little bit easier to reload, I guess. If I'm doing it from my pocket, you can kind of get in there pretty quickly. Pulling out a new round as I'm pulling off that shot. You could almost cock it back with one hand. Can't quite manipulate the whole thing with one hand if the casing gets stuck like that. Yeah, it's very hard to pull that hammer back with one hand. Obviously not how it's designed, but I don't know. It's kind of cool, still cool in my opinion. Not even using the sights, just kind of point shooting from like 10 yards right now. Let's go to 15. Ooh, that was a little baby target too. So the accuracy, even with the can on here, has been pretty good. It's a fun gun to shoot. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about something like this. The Trailblazer Lifecard 22 long rifle. This to me is a gun that is just super easy to throw in your pocket, throw in a backpack, take it out to the range. Maybe you're going for a hike in the woods and you're running across some small game. whatever it may be. It's just super small and portable, fun to shoot, very quiet, relatively inexpensive ammo as of right now, but of course that changes all the time. You can get it with or without a threaded barrel on there, and it's just, I don't know, it's fun. Let me know what you guys think about this thing in the comments down below, and maybe we will get back to making some more videos like this here on the channel. If you have any questions on the Trailblazer Lifecard 22 threaded barrel version, let me know. Try to answer anything as best as possible, and that's going to be all for today. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I'll make some videos hopefully at some point. That's all. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.